Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I can't contain myself. Okay, the Open Door Jamaica Foundation is now open. Its roots are planted in the unwavering passion and commitment of its founder, Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid. Her lifelong dedication to inclusivity and advocacy for those living with physical disabilities in Jamaica is a driving force behind the foundation's inception. Welcome to a powerhouse of a woman and my friend, the most busy woman in Jamaica, founder and executive director of the Open Door Jamaica Foundation, Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid.
Oh gosh,
hey, girl,
morning,
hey.
like after an introduction like that, I take
I tell you.
your suit. I can just walk off and be like, okay, I'm done. Morning, everyone. Hi, hi.
It's a lifelong door. I didn't know. I mean, what was this, where was this beginning of your interest in physical disabilities? Because it could have been anything.
So I credit it to my grandma, and I always said it that she taught me two things. One, you have to learn how to articulate and express what you want for yourself, which is self-advocacy. And she says if you're able to figure out how to express and articulate what you need, what you don't want, what you like, then you can do it for other people who don't have the same platform or power or authority or access. And so over the years, I've always been that village lawyer. I am always a person, since prep school, high school, persons who know me will tell you, if there's any form of injustice, social or otherwise, you can bet that Terri-Karelle is going to show up. And so over the years, it got more and more apparent to me. My grandma is 92 years old. She uses a wheelchair. And the older I get is the more I realize that our language, which is a part of our social and cultural construct, it's harmful. We don't call deaf people dumb. Deaf people just communicate differently. They're just deaf.
Yes.
So how about we start as a society understanding how our biases, how they contribute to keeping these communities vulnerable. Hiring practices. When last have you walked into any place or space and seen blind people working in normal spaces? You don't see them. Why? Because we believe that a disability is an inability to do something, which it is not. So that's what it's grounded in.
How do we start to change these conversations? I want to know about the conversations we need to be having with each other, with our children. Something I always I find laughable are just even parking spaces and ramps that don't exist. And so how do we start these conversations with our children so that they are thinking differently and being more inclusive and understanding of what you are trying to...
Perfect question. And it's funny you asked that question because in 2021, I went to Birmingham during COVID and delivered my TEDx talk, which is how do we have unconventional conversations with our kids? That was actually the topic they gave me. And a part of that was inclusion. So you guys know Naima, growing and everything. I can't just tell Naima to be inclusive. She has to see me attempt it and for me to actively try to be. So I take her to spaces so she can interact. So she's learning sign language right now with myself, with Alex. She's moving in spaces now that when she goes to school and she's learning body parts in Spanish and they ask her, well, what do you use your hands for? She's literally putting to read and speak because now she's wired to think about the person who needs the most as opposed to everything being centered around us. So I think it starts with us unlearning a lot of the things that we do and say every day and then making an active decision to learn more about these spaces. So I wouldn't be in this position if I was on the outside. You have to go in. You have to speak to people. You have to ask them, you know, what is it that we aren't doing right? And they will tell you. Because it's not that they want a handout. They really don't want you to pity them. They want equal access to the things that everybody has.
I learned recently that deaf people, they're okay with you saying they're deaf.
Yes,
you know, you don't need to say
hearing impaired.
any kind of euphemism, you know?
No, you don't have to be politically correct. You have people who are deaf, fully deaf, and some who are partially.
And that's okay. But Open Door must have been open in your mind for some time before it, you know, I like the fact that you say we can go in and the name Open Door, it speaks volumes because it says you're invited, you are a part of it, you are welcome, and I'll choose you too. What was the inspiration behind the name? How did you go about choosing the name?
You said it perfectly. And so a foundation was always on my mind, but you guys know you're managing a whole heap of things, career, you know, mommyhood, you're doing so much, so it was always on my roadmap. But I was telling you that God's time is the ultimate time, and he said, now is the time, but it is supposed to be that. Open door means all access, equal access to everyone. You are welcome. You are deserving. You are not to be treated like a second class or a third class citizen. You have all rights to be treated like a first class. And so it starts with advocacy and using the platform and the responsibility that I have to not just share now with my community. My community knows me, and they have also changed how they view persons with disabilities, but now the foundation will allow me to do it on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
So persons watching right now are already inspired. Terry,
Thank you.
Doing that, I want to be a part of it. You know, I mean, do I reach out on the IG page?
Right.
What do I do?
You can find us at, on across social media, Instagram, Open Door Jamaica, but you can also visit opendoorjamaicafoundation.org or .org, and you can become a doorman. So when we are thinking about becoming a volunteer, when Alex and I were sitting down and we're putting out the website, and I was just like, nah, I don't want to volunteer. In order for us to open doors for people, you become a doorman. It's it's a role of service. And people look at doormen as just, no, they open the door to receive you, to welcome you. So now, the day that we opened up, which was February 14, which although people celebrated for Valentine's Day, it's actually the day that the Disabilities Act came into implementation in Jamaica.
She don't do nothing without purpose, you never know.
Yeah, that's true. So 2 years ago, February 14, the Disabilities Act, which is to protect the rights of persons with disabilities, came into implementation, which means parking spaces, infrastructure, hiring practices, discrimination, like, come people, we have to do the work. We have to do the work. And so it was, how do we ask people if they want to volunteer? We said, become a doorman. So on the website, you can actually click on, you can become a doorman. And in that day, we had people volunteering to become doormen, door persons.
Yes.
And we also had people donating.
Yes.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that you can't always wait on the government. We have to be the change that we want to see. And so my community from all over the world said, we're going to donate, whether it is $150, $1,000, and so everything can be done through the website.
I'm seeing a pediatric wheelchair here. Is that right? Can you tell us a little bit more about what work Open Door is doing right now? Right.
So we just finished doing giving 100 Braille machines over to the Salvation Army in association with Digital Foundation. We said we're only doing 50, but we're able to do 100. Wow. So you help that community. So now it's about mobility for all. And so the Open Door Foundation has now partnered with Toyota Jamaica, and we know they're always working in the same spaces, communities with disabilities. And for us, it's about mobility under the idea of, or the concept of Kaizen, which is continuous efficiency and improvement. So we know that we have infrastructural problems with accessibility, but then there are people who need. We have children, young adults who just need to get around. And so we have about 5 that we are giving away.
Awesome.
We're going to try to get persons who are really, as I said, in need. And so all they have to do is visit opendoorjamaicafoundation.org/mobility for all. Give us the information and tell us why you think this person is deserving. And speaking from experience, these can be very heavy for caregivers and for persons who use it. So this is actually lightweight, but durable. It is sleek, easy to close, easy to open, easy to fit. And so that is what we're going to be doing over the next month. And as soon as people help us to identify and nominate who is deserving of it, then we will go wherever you are. It's not a Kingston thing. If it's Westmoreland and we need to get down to Westmoreland, we're going down to Westmoreland. So don't feel as if you have to be a certain person or in a certain location to nominate someone.
All right, awesome. I love that. I do know that we have some rapid fire questions.
Hold on, and by the way, I just also letting you know, because, we represent Toyota all day, every day. Of the 5, you're going to get the opportunity to choose when the list comes in, someone who you think is deserving of it. You will get an opportunity to do that. Yeah, I know that this is a part of who you are as well.
No,
so,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love that. Thank
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yay. Oh, I love the visual. Hold on, I was like, I'm holding on.
Hold on. Yeah. So rapid.
That's awesome, Terry. I have goosebumps. I love that.
No, pleasure.
Rapid fire questions with Terri-Karelle. If you're just joining, welcome. You're right on time. Bun and cheese or bun and butter?
Bun and butter, I am team bun and butter. Don't listen. We have to keep it professional. Bun and butter. Especially if the bun dry, it need the butter.
Will it need the bun, butter, and cheese? Fair enough.
Bun, butter, and cheese.
Fine. All right, cook up saltfish or cook up mackerel?
Cook up saltfish all day, every day, with the dumpling and the banana and the yam and all of these things.
I was not expecting all this.
Fried dumpling or festival.
Don't disappoint me.
Eh,
Come on with it.
Fried dumpling, you know. Fried dumpling, but my daughter with a festival. My daughter is going to go
And
for
it depends
festival.
what you're having it with.
Correct.
There you
Correct,
go.
but
All
fried
right.
dumpling.
Beach or river?
Beach.
Yeah.
I'm a beach girl.
I think so.
I'm a beach girl.
I think so. I think
River
so.
nice
I
too, you know,
think
but
so.
I'm a beach girl.
Any other rapid fires? Oh, this is always a good one.
No,
Rice and peas or rice and...
or Tami.
You know, so you're terrible. I take your both of you. You're terrible.
We're so proud of you. Thank you. Please continue.
And rice and
to-
peas.
And rice and peas,
Rice and
not
peas.
rice and gungo peas. I'm with
Rice
you.
and peas,
Thank you for all the amazing work you're doing.
Thank you.
I can't imagine. I think about like your mother and your grandmother all the time and how they must be like, we did a good job.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so inspiring and
Thank you.
how you're raising Nai and
Thank you.
all of the amazing, the way the dominoes will fall. I'm
Thank you.
watching and just so proud of you and I'm taking notes.
God is
girl.
good. God is good all the time. I give him credit. Thank you.
Very
Thank you,
inspiring.
guys.
Proud of
Dr.
you.
Terri-Karelle Reid. And of course, Karen, I know you're saying you got the brand compass. A book is coming. When you
Yes,
see this,
another
a
book, I'm
is
sure.
coming.
I'm sure.
Don't worry about it.
I love it. The open book.
Founder and executive director of Open Door Jamaica Foundation. After the break, AI meets education. Stay tuned.
Nice.
Stay tuned.
Just worked it
In fact, AI can say that better than I can. Stay tuned.
But there's one IT. But there is one IT and one Tami. One IT, one Tami.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
this
God.
is so good.
I'm a strong Jamaican.